Welcome back to Glen Abbey Recreational Center in Oakville, site of the OMLA, Oakville Minor Lacrosse Association Championship Day. And we are featuring the second semifinal in the Bantam division. This game between Black & Decker in the traditionally Ticat colors, the black and yellow, and Argus Medical Center in the red and white. And we've just had a penalty called on Black & Decker, as Argus Medical will go on the power play. Big, rangy size teams we were seeing. A little bit bigger than the last game, and already off the top, it's been very, very physical. We're just underway here in the first period, no score. Trying to rag the ball is Chris Klein. Klein being watched carefully, pressuring the ball there is Mark Vandersten. Once again, Chris Klein doing an effective job of killing this penalty, dumps it up top to Brent Strike. Strike has no pressure on him whatsoever. It looks like that the power play is belonging to Black & Decker right now, but they are killing this penalty effectively. 1:15 remaining in the penalty. A shot, they score! A high shot by Chris Klein. It appeared to be number 8. And it went high and into the net over the shoulder of Richard Van B. Stafford. Take a look at it. Nice work inside there. And the up top, Klein decides to shoot nice and high and over the right shoulder of the netminder, Richard Van B. Stafford. 1-0. Argus still on the power play for 30 seconds.
Number 8, Chris Klein. This is by number 15, Brent Strike. 12-12.
Darren Brown has a shot, and it goes high and wide, and picking it up on the bounce is Matthew Carberry. Carberry down low to Jeff Morris. Stolen by the Midas player in there, and Mike Vettersen. I hope they'll get proper pronunciation of that name. Picked up on the bounce by Moyer and lost. Nice shovel pass. Picked up by Morris, and he has it stolen from him. Moyer, a shot, a save by Buckland. Tight checking here. 10:45 remaining in the first period. 1-0 Black & Decker over Argus Medical. Looking for that man right in the top of the crease, and the pass was picked off. Spinning off is Monrad. Lost. Argus breaks out. 2 men on the ball, and aggressively they get the ball back. Brent Strike. Line change for Argus. Strike will try and take on all comers. Spin, a shot, a score! Just using good physical presence and saying who was boss in there was Brent Strike. And he had every indication that he was going to the net there, and that was just a wonderful goal. Watch Strike from the top here. Decide to go. 1, 2. He beat 3 men with the spinorama shot and blew it by B. Stafford. And there you see a shot of the parents enjoying this Bantam semifinal.
Scoring for Black & Decker, number 15, Brent Strike, unassisted, 10:07.
There you hear the call. Walking in, there was McGuire. And picking it up off the bounces, Matthew Flippins. Flippins with a hard drive and a nice save in there by Jerry Buckland, who read the bounce wonderfully and picked it off. Monrad, another sizey boy for this Black & Decker team. Takes a shot, and he had it deflect wide. Argus certainly outsized, and here's one of the smaller guys in Matthew Flippins, but very talented, dumps the ball off for McDonald. McDonald was roughed up. Once again, roughed up is Jurlick. Back up top to McGuire. McGuire eyes a shot. He's double teamed. Bump check. The pick is set. Here's McGuire with a weak shot. Picked up on the bounce by Flippins, and we have some talking, pushing, and shoving, and the possession will go in favor of Black & Decker. Line change for Black & Decker. 1 on, 1 off. Hussey, a shot, goes wide, off the bounce. It's going to be picked up by an Argyle medical man, and that is Kyle McDonald. A shot and a save by Jerry Buckland. I think Kyle McDonald was hearing the footsteps and decided to pull the trigger a little earlier than I think he might have wanted to. Here comes Argus Medical. Vedoresian. Off the bounce, loose ball. Moyer with it. Moyer looking at a shot. Fires it wide. And roughed up along the boards is an Argus Medical player. And again, this Black & Decker team extremely physical. And it has worked successfully for them as they lead this game 2-0. Long pass from Strike looking for Hussey. Hussey is pounded into the boards and he'll come up with the possession of it. Jeff Hussey. Back up top. Hussey trying to get off the floor. And he won't be able to. He'll just fire the ball long, looking for Monrad. Monrad. Loose ball. Possession in favor of Black & Decker, but they have to wait for the whistle to get going. Jeff Morris from the corner. Tosses away the ball, and Argus, will reset. We have a penalty called on the play. Argus will go on the power play. They decide to keep their netminder in. He comes off the bench and they'll go for 6 attackers. Loose ball will be picked up by Black & Decker. And we will have a penalty on the play. We're joined now by President of the OMLA, Ken Watt. Welcome back, Ken.
Thank you, Clint.
These two teams, you've seen them play earlier this year?
Yes, I have. Both of them have been come a long way from when they started out back in the early part of the year. It's pronounced Vardaresian.
Vardaresian, thank you.
Black & Decker penalty to number 9, Matt Brooks. 2 minutes for ice sticking at 5:25.
Brad Moyer. They are on the power play. Moyer across the floor, off the bounce, looking for Vedoresian. And Black & Decker will take over. Rob Kuss. His pass was picked off. And Argos will have an opportunity to reset with 1:10 remaining in the power play. Here's Brent Henderson, a shot and a save by Buckland. Buckland has been tested several times and has been equal to the task on all occasions. Once again, Brent Henderson steals the ball. Henderson looking for a lane. Dumps it up top to Brad Moyer. Moyer has a shot. And Argus having troubles with their power plays on both opportunities. Long ball. That'll leave the floor surface. I'm just impressed with this Black & Decker team. Ken, they are the most physical team I've seen in this tournament so far.
They certainly have. They are definitely a physical lacrosse team, and they've come a long way. As I mentioned, they've come a long way and have done well in the latter part of this 1992 House League program. The team is coached by Dave Hussey, who is a well-known name in our hockey association here in Oakville.
The pass is picked off, but from behind, a nice defensive play by Matthew Rook.
That was Jesse Barlow picking up the pass and unfortunately losing possession for Argus Medical Center.
Peels away from a check and dumps the ball off the boards. And just a mismatch there between those two players. And then Mark Mosley, or actually changed that. Brent Strike came up with the ball. And here is Strike right now. Strike going up against all opposition, but loses possession of the ball, and he is roughed up, and Black & Decker will hold on to the ball.
Brent Strike certainly uses his size to his advantage.
Here is Strike as the pick is set. Watching him is Brent Moyer. Strike in front. Right in the top of the crease, there was a man there, and Matthew Rook. And he has it now. Rook being watched carefully by Derek Jackson. Behind the net. Here comes a man. And again, too much banging and clanging on the side right in front of the official. And we'll change possession. Line change for Argus. .120 remaining in period 1, 2-0. Black & Decker leads. There's a shot that goes high.
Shot
Brad Moyer.
That's right, Brad Moyer. Both Brad and his brother Brent play in this Bantam Argus team.
Just under a minute remaining in the first period. They continue to work the clock, send another man on the floor. There's Brad Moyer with a shot. Kyle McDonald looking for the loose ball. Good cross check in there, and he's called for it. Black & Decker will try and control this last 30 seconds. A long pass scooped up nicely by Morris. But he had it stolen from him, and charging down the floor is Ryan Bailey. Bailey hacked that at his stick, hacked. Picks up the loose ball, down to 10 seconds. A long shot that goes wide, off the bounce, picked up by McDonald. His shot goes wide, and that will kill period number 1. A good paced period. Black & Decker leads Argus Medical 2-0. There you see a shot of the benches, and we're seeing the second semifinal here in the Bantam division. In the first game, which you might have seen earlier, Field Fresh Farms defeated Royal Canadian Legion Branch 114, 8-2. And I'll tell you one thing, it's going to be horrifying for the players if Black & Decker wins this game, because they both are in the black and yellow.
That's right, it will be.
That will be horrifying for the players, the netminders especially.
Although with Field Fresh Farms, we're actually wearing the gold with the black trim, which is the reverse of our Black & Decker team we're seeing here today. .40 seconds left in the break, and we're back into second period action.
15-minute time continues to run during the periods. 3 periods, obviously. Is that the way you play it normally in your house league?
Yes, for the Bantams, we've been playing 15-minute period straight time. And in the last 3 minutes of the third period, if there's a 2-goal or less differential, it plays stop time.
So if you can keep it within 2, you're still into it.
Still into it. Shot here of our Argus team. It's Rick Bartaresi, and one of the coaches of the Argus, waving on his players.
Walsh, Federesian, Henderson, and Walsh, Brian and Greg. Rick and Jack, the coaches for Argus Medical Center, and Dave Hussey, Dale Klein, and Bruce Donovan were responsible for coaching this Black & Decker team. And I saw one of the coaches for Black & Decker really intense in coaching there, talking with an individual on how to cross-check properly.
Well, we definitely have a group of intense coaches here in the Oakville League. Bruce Donovan, one of the coaches for the Black & Decker team, played many years of lacrosse here under the old regime.
We're getting ready for period number 2. Black & Decker in the lead. 2-0. Black & Decker in the black and gold, and in the red and white is Argus Medical Center. And we're underway. Missed draw. Possession in favor of Argus. And leading them down the floor is Chris McGuire. Up top to Brett Moyer. Moyer. A little bit of motion. Loose ball. Still loose. And here comes the rangy and sizey Brent Strike with a long lead pass. Pulled in. Lovely cuss. Oh, bounce shot goes wide. What an excellent effort to pull in that pass by Rob Cuss.
Great effort. Shot just going wide of the net.
McGuire.
Black & Decker moved back into their house position. Argus holding possession of the ball.
Once again, some more action in front of that crease, resulting in a possession change. Here is Cuss once again, breaking in, loose possession. Oh! He had the netminder, Stafford, out of the net and just touched it wide. Swaying and battling for the ball in there are the right in front, the score from behind the net. He was set up wonderfully. Matthew Rook scored the goal, but Brent Strike organized the play.
See, past the front, and yes, he batted it in.
His feet dangerously close to being in the crease. 3-0 for the Black & Decker team. Moyer and Nelson on the draw.
That's Brad's brother Brent taking the draw. Argus with possession. Brad Moyer.
Assisted by number 13, Brent Strike, by 15-30.
And we'll have a draw ball to the right of the Black & Decker netminder, Jerry Buckland. Black & Decker with control. Double, triple team picked up in there by Moyer. Moyer has a shot and a nice save by Buckland. 3-on-1 there, and they played some good defense in there. Argus Medical Center, nice pass from Buckland. Up the floor into to Hussey. Hussey spins back, waits for his teammates. Hussey being pressured in there by Henderson. Hussey going to the net. Dump pass. No one there to help him out. Argus Medical moving the ball up the floor, and Vedressian had a pass up to Carberry. And Carberry down low, up top to Moyer. Brad Moyer looking for some motion in that crease area, and no one down deep, and Hussey picks off the ball. Hussey being cross-checked aggressively in there by Brent Moyer. And again, we see more of the sizey boys for Black & Decker.
At number 10 is Jason Munrad. He definitely carries the size with him. Black & Decker get back into their house.
Here is a shot that just whistles wide. Taken in there by Carberry. Actually changed that. That was Bailey.
Ryan Bailey.
Pass goes down low. And back up top. Running out of time on that 30-second clock. McDonald takes a shot. And Black & Decker will come back, and storming back is Monrad. Monrad to the net. A nice save. A shot high over the net by Scott Nelson. And I'm telling you, if you are the netminder for Argus, Richard Van B. Stafford, and you see a guy coming with the speed of a Jason Monrad, hold on to your socks.
Monrad definitely carries the speed, and he uses it to his advantage. As you can see when he's motoring up the floor.
And here is Monrad right now, being hacked at by Derek Jackson. Long pass by Monrad, picked off momentarily. And coming back strong is Kyle McDonald, who spins back, waits, and they'll run some offense. Chris McGuire. Ball being pressured nicely in there. Once again up top to Jurlick. He has a shot saved by Buckland. Peeling back and waiting and dumping off the ball to McGuire. McGuire loses the ball. Oh, and a big body check, which will result in a penalty. I think we have a penalty called on the play.
Certainly do. I believe that's Derek Jackson taking that penalty. Big body check.
Big check from behind. And Black & Decker will go on the power play. At times, this sport can be absolutely ferocious.
It sure can. It sure can. But it's been a great year for us, and we've had very few parents really concerned about what they perceive to be sometimes a dangerous sport. In fact, for the most part, you're well protected with equipment out nowadays.
It's interesting in talking with a lot of the Junior A and Junior B players that I have contact with in Burlington. A lot of them, whenever you talk about the physical aspect of the game, say the game seems to be more rough for the fans than the players.
It certainly is, and I think it's the fans looking down on the floor and seeing the hitting. And one of the things, obviously, not with the Bantam, but with the lower age groups in our lacrosse association, is that the parents are not used to this contact. And having this contact sport has definitely been different. There's a goal by Black & Decker.
Brett strike from end to end. And again, there's the physical aspect of the game being used positively. He just basically outran and outsized everyone, and anyone that got in his way, he blew by them.
Absolutely.
But definitely, the players say you're well protected. The checks or the cross checks rarely hurt. They said if anything hurts the most, it's the little nudges and slashes on the wrist more than anything else.
Well, that's right. I mean, if you take a look at the hitting area in lacrosse, you're definitely well protected, and with the equipment they have out nowadays versus what was being worn many years ago, you're well protected in the hitting area.
Brett Strike opens up a 4-0 lead. There's a shot that goes wide by Ryan Bailey, and Argus still trying to figure out how to get one by Jerry Buckland.
Another penalty here to Black.
a row from one side of the floor to the next. And short-handed, Black & Decker looks like they've opened up an insurmountable 5-0 lead.
They certainly have, and Argus is going to have to get on their toes and start doing something and narrow that deficit.
Once again, the size factor.
Black & Decker is definitely a big team, and they got some big boys, and this Bantam division is also has a few midget players, so we're seeing some of the larger size players there. They're in fact midget players.
So are we looking at like 13 and 14-year-olds?
Yes, we're looking at, there's approximately, I believe, 6 midget players playing in our Bantam division in the house league.
Still on the power play is Argus. Loose ball picked up by Brown, but it was called. But Black & Decker will hold on it. Here's Brown. Up top. Chris Klein. Shot. Oh! Having difficulty in there was Van B. Stafford.
Oh, Brown takes a check.
Here comes Argus on the bounce, trying to pull it in as Henderson. Henderson had it stripped away in there by another aggressive player in Monrad. And Monrad will come up with it on the bounce. He's being dealt with in there by Jurlick. Here comes Argus with 4 seconds left in the power play.
Got Nelson using his size to...
Nelson takes one across the neck area. And just as soon as they finish killing the penalty, Black & Decker will send one more man to the box, and this time it'll be Scott Nelson.
Scott Nelson with number 7 for Argus, Brad Moyer taking that hit.
Argus just needs to get some more shots on net.
They certainly do. They haven't been able to find out what Buckland brought to the game with him today.
Being worked on in there is Fred Henderson. Henderson up top. Violation charged in there for possession.
Brent Strike moving up the floor with the ball.
Remember him the last time they had the power play, and here he goes end to end again. A shot goes wide. 1 minute remaining in the second period.
Argus Medical Center down by 5.
.35 seconds left in the second period. Argus on the power play. They are trying to set an offense. The pass is tipped. Loose. Still loose.
Here's Brent Strike again trying to pick up that ball.
Still loose. And out. Oh, it stays in. And settling the play down is Morris. Jeff Morris loses the ball to Ryan Bailey, and Bailey has 4 seconds to deal with, takes a long shot that Buckland holds on, and that is the end of the second period. A period which we saw a couple more goals scored for Black & Decker, and they've increased their lead to a commanding 5-0 lead.
They certainly have, and Argus is going to have to get their act together in the third period if they're going to have any chance of comeback.
Well, at this point, Black & Decker, to me, seems like they're in a different league.
Well, they've had a fine year. Dave Hussey and his crowd of coaching staff have done a fine job with the team. Actually, I commend all of the coaches in every division with every team. It's been a great year for them.
We have to see if they can, as we said, solve the riddle of Jerry Buckland to equal to the task on all shots from, and they've seen a variety of shots on the one power play. He took about 3 in a row from in tight, far away, back up top, and he's been steady.
He certainly has, and he's definitely played a major role in Black & Decker's 5-0 lead. shot of some people in the stands.
Some of the parents, and a couple parents, that a parent with a stick in his hand?
I believe one of our players.
Oh.
One of the nice things of traveling around the community this summer is seeing the number of boys and girls out there out in the streets with their lacrosse stick and lacrosse ball, and it's something obviously we haven't seen in a long time here, and it's you sure get quite a drive seeing that sort of thing in the streets.
It's been interesting to see some of these players on all the games we've done already. Certain good percentage of the kids seem to have some good stick skills, and you can have the running ability and the size ability, but be able to control the stick is a key in this game.
No, they certainly do have good stick ability.
You saw the one beautiful catch in there by Rob Cuss, the one down the floor from a long pass from Buckland. And the ability to the hand-eye coordination you talked about earlier, just very imperative in this sport.
Absolutely, and I think you can somewhat credit that to the because the season is so short, given it's ending on June 27th, is the additional time that the players are spending outside of the lacrosse or outside of the arena in trying to master this great game.
And not only a great game, our great game.
That's right, and it's our great game.
I think that seems to get lost in the shuffle sometimes. Again, you'll never want to battle against the popularity of hockey, because hockey is hockey, but few people remember at times that this is really our national game.
It certainly is, and lacrosse is on the comeback, and Oakville Minor Lacrosse feels very proud to be part of that comeback and adding close to 140 new registrants this year, on top of what we had in Burlington last year, which was approximately 71.
There was Cuss. Cuss with the shot. Bounce shot goes high and into these seats. So here is Argus trying to put something together here. Bringing the ball down the floor is Jesse Barlow. He will set an offense. Oh, and his pass, which was directed in there to Chris McGuire. McGuire had to battle for it. McGuire with a bounce shot. Buckland saw that all the way, scoops it into his stick, and will leave it for his defender. Here comes Monrad, one move. Monrad doubled up now, peels off one check, peels off another. Still has the ball, Monrad walking in, he lost it, a shot that goes wide. Here's Monrad trying to deflect it back in, just at the top of the crease. And Argus will come back. Barlow waiting for his other teammates to come on the floor before he comes off. There's a low drive that Buckland didn't see till very, very late. Off the bounce goes Brad Moyer. Moyer being checked in there by Rook. And Black & Decker will take over. Just underway here in the third period. 5-0 Black & Decker in the lead here in this OMLA semifinal Bantam Division game. Here is Flippins.
Flippins loses his balance, keeps possession of the ball.
Moyer steps into this one. And another save by Jerry Buckland. Here is Flippins. Flippins coming in tight. A save by Buckland.
That Buckland's been outstanding.
This one bounces off the boards. And here comes Brent Strike. Strike with a nice pass. Oh, that goes off the stick of Darryl Brown. Brown and Bailey battle for possession, and Black & Decker will hold on. Here's a pass back up top. Patrick Bedford going in. A bounce shot goes wide. Off the boards and played by, Matthew Flipwins was almost all the way. Here is Klein looking for Cuss. Stafford has troubles with it, but brings it into the stick, and he'll deliver a short pass. And up the floor come Argus. Led by Brad Moyer. Moyer takes a shot, hits the goal post. Moyer hit the pipe. A loose ball scooped up by Black & Decker. Another long pass down the floor that can't be handled, and Stafford will direct traffic and leave it in there for Jesse Barlow. Flippins down low, takes a shot. Another piece of it taken by Jerry Buckland. Loose ball, fed up top, picked up by Jerlick. Jerlick, one of the tall, sizey guys for this Argus team. A shot! Oh, and that one beat Buckland, but it sailed wide. Flippins, they score!
Beauty goal by Matt Flippins.
Flippins, the smallest man on the floor, with a bullet of a shot, and placed it.
I tell you, with Matt Flippins, size is not a factor. He'll take on the best of them.
And it took almost 40 minutes to solve the riddle of Jerry Buckland, but they have done it, and Argus has gone up with a goal. (5-1). Black & Decker in the lead. As Argus has won the draw and come right back down the floor. Here is Henderson with a shot that goes wide. Here the announcement for the Argus goal. Flippins from McGuire. With a long pass up the floor.
Matthew Rook trying to get the ball, loose ball. Picked up by Brent Moyer.
Moyer waits, sees a lane. They shut it down. Moyer will still go to the net. Oh! And Moyer was assassinated in there by Jason Monrad. But Monrad charging down the floor. Monrad scores! Jason Monrad. Wow!
Wow, what a goal.
Just textbook lacrosse.
Absolutely.
There's the goal, but it is all set up by his own defense. I don't know if Brad can roll back that far, but wow. Just put a pulverizing hit in there, down deep in his own zone, picks up the loose ball and says, "Here I come." (6-1). Brad Boyer. Check by Monrad. Up top, a shot. That one goes wide by Brent Moyer.
Unassisted. Time 8:25.
Seven and a half remaining in this game. 6-1. Argus still trying to put some balls in the net. Brad Moyer scores! Chose to shoot and bingo.
Good goal by Brad Moyer, waiting and taking the opportunity to pop that one in the net.
Well, they've put a couple by Buckland now, and maybe a little bit of confidence for them. Here's
Brad Moyer waiting. The shot.
Just beat him.
So Argus Medical narrowed that deficit to 4 goals. Just
They want another draw. Brad Moyer going in tight.
Right again.
Saved by Buckland, standing on his 2 feet there, not moving. Buckland's pass is going to be picked off. Going in strong is Bailey. A shot that hits the crossbar.
Off the crossbar. Brown moving up with the ball. Cuss ready for the pass. We got it.
A little rough stuff on the side, and we'll change possession once again. So obviously the couple of goals that Argus Medical have scored have gotten their confidence up, and they are playing a little notch above what they have been playing.
It certainly has, and it's quite a difference from what we've seen earlier on. Argus are now revived.
The cheap stuff is called.
Hussey taking the ball up for Black and Decker. The pass over to Scott Nelson. Cuss trying to bat that ball in.
Here is Richard Van B. Stafford. Dumping the ball off to Moyer. Brad Moyer stepping in. Moyer with a shot opportunity and a save by Buckland. Jackson has it shut down. Kyle McDonald with a long pass that'll be intercepted. Oh! Boy, Chris Klein got hit twice. Sandwich.
Matthew Rook with the ball for Black and Decker. Brown sitting in the net, in front of the net.
Here comes Argus, right back with 4.5 left. They are holding on to a 6-2 lead.
Jesse Barlow waiting for his players to move up.
Here is Flippins. He scored one of them. Oh! A long shot hits the goal post. And Flippins, again, the smallest guy on the floor, is able to put some serious speed on that ball.
He certainly has, and he's a very aggressive player.
Probably learns from his brother. Vaughn, who's a native of Elmira College in New York State. And plays right now with the Junior A Brampton Excelsiors. An ex-Bay Area Bengal. Well, I think we have a timeout being called here. With 3:42 remaining.
Black and Decker taking the timeout.
Just trying to settle down the troops, I guess. They've been a little lackluster in this third period.
They sure have in the last 3+ minutes of the third period. Holding on to their 4-goal lead.
The ball generally has been in the Black and Decker side of things. Other than the 1 goal scored by Monrad, that was a late rush.
It has been, and Buckland has sure been tested today.
Well, let's see what Argus can come up with and try and cut that lead. They need to get busy right away.
Game back underway.
Buckland will kick things off. And here comes the one they're afraid of, Jason Monrad. Monrad cut off by Henderson.
Matthew Rook.
Rook being charged in there by Brent Moyer. And the ball will be in favor of Black and Decker. We'll look at the work in front of the crease. Jeff Morris trying to do his best to stay in that crease area. They are just labeling him. A shot that goes, oh, it doesn't know where it is.
Well, Van B. Stafford lost sight of that ball. Some action going on in front of the net again.
Strike. Loose ball, picked up. 3 men on him. Back up top. Here's a shot. And I don't know what happened.
Jesus, I thought that one was in.
I thought it was in. On a long shot in there by Matthew Carberry. It must have went wide. But from here, didn't look like there was a chance for that to go wide.
I guess we don't have a camera down at that end.
Oh, man. .225 remaining. Here's Chris McGuire. He's got to get the ball in the hands of someone that can take a shot. They're running out of time on that 30-second clock. Here's a shot by Moyer that goes wide. Rebound off the... It goes wide. And
Chris McGuire taking some bumps in front of the net by Monrad.
Here's Monrad with a long pass. Picked up by Cuss. Cuss had a ball, delivered the ball to Scott Nelson, and Nelson couldn't pick it up off the hop. Stafford comes out of his net to scoop it up. And will fire a nice short pass to one of his own teammates. Coming up the floor, number 7, Brad Moyer. Wow. And Cuss. No. Can you believe it?
Let's take a look at this one.
They score! Right back to play. And Rob Cuss puts one in after being a little physical.
Last minute of play in the game.
Well, 7-2 for Black & Decker, and how fitting that we show that clip, that little replay there, because it's been a physical game that Black & Decker has dominated.
It certainly has, and we're just winding the clock down now with 43 seconds left in the game. Black & Decker holding the lead at 7-2.
Well, folks, just a reminder that we have the Pee Wee Championship game. The Tyke Novice, I keep messing up.
Assisted by number 14, Jeff Hussey, and number 10, Jason Mondrag.
Moyer again with a shot and a score.
Moyer holding back and then pulling the trigger. Gets one by Buckland with just under 10 seconds remaining now. And that's the way this one will end. 7-3. Black & Decker will advance to the championship game against Field Fresh Farms.
Well, that should be an exciting game.
That was a really an excellent game. That was a good, high-quality lacrosse game.
It certainly was, with lots of body work.
We are coming back with a championship game right after this short message when we will return to Glen Abbey Recreational Center. The final score: Black & Decker 7, Argus Medical 3.